Coming up on First at 4, the latest on damage caused by tornadoes in Madison County. And Pikeville Community Kitchen hosted its annual Christmas giveaway, providing for families in need.
And seasonable temperatures continue through the first half of the week, but what about as we head towards Christmas? I'll have those answers on the way as First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
More than one tornado touched down in Madison County a little more than 1 week ago. That's according to the National Weather Service, which toured areas in both Madison and Garrett counties today. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to a man who lost part of his roof and those with the Weather Service inspecting the damage.
A farm here in Kirksville was the site of an EF1 tornado about 4:30 on Saturday morning with winds of about 90 miles an hour. Jim Gordon with the National Weather Service Louisville office says the tornado had a skipping motion and that it didn't stay on the ground very long, but enough to topple trees, take roofs off the farmhouse and several barns. A tornado of similar size and strength also touched down about 12 miles away north of Richmond and left lots of damage at a home on Clay Lane.
We were just fortunate that we didn't get injured and we can replace what we have lost, but there's a lot of people didn't get that opportunity during this time with this storm. So you get to thinking about that and just thankful that you weren't taken out with it and that nobody was injured here.
Local officials tell me they are still tabulating the total amount of damages done here. They say they don't know exactly how many structures were impacted. In Madison County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Officials estimate there were at least 2 tornadoes in Madison County that hit early that Saturday morning.
And it would have been that cell in Madison County that snuck across the border into portions of Estill and Powell County and potentially done damage. But the good news is we haven't heard about any of that in the week that we've had since those storms have moved through. So that's definitely good news. Out there right now, all is quiet. Buffalo Mountain camera. Right now, a nice sunset on the way out there as we drop into the mid-40s at this hour. In fact, most of us are in those mid-40s, couple upper 40s. Jacksboro's at 48 and even a lower 40 out there. Moorhead's at 43, Wise at 41. So some of us still dealing with some cooler temperatures, but all in all, right about where we should be for this time of year. A few clouds trying to sneak in from the south and west. That's from a storm system off to our south and west that looks to stay that way as we head over the next little bit or so, but that's going to give us a few more clouds as we finish things out tonight. We're going to be falling into those mid to upper 20s with their partly cloudy skies and appropriately chilly conditions as we finish out this Monday. I'll have the latest on when things warm up and what that Christmas forecast looks like coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. The Pikeville Community Kitchen hosted its annual Christmas giveaway today, providing hundreds of bags of food and more to families in need. The giveaway with Pikeville United Methodist Church and its community partners handed out food, snacks, and gifts to families, and that's part of the organization's mission to share with its community. Pikeville's first responders jumped in to lend a hand with drive-through and walk-up options available, hoping to help the community gear up for Christmas.
And so basically it's just us coming together, showing the love of Christ and the love of Jesus and Christmas time and that this is the season of giving and this is the season of love and compassion for one another.
Partners like Walmart, Save-A-Lot, and others made the event possible. Organizers say they were blessed with a large number of items to give out this year. The Omicron variant of COVID-19 has now been detected in 45 states, including Kentucky. It's not the dominant strain yet, but Dr. Anthony Fauci warns that will happen soon. Average new COVID cases have nearly doubled since the beginning of November. CBS's Mola Linghi reports from New York, a state that broke its record for daily COVID cases for a third day in a row.
We're going to see the number of cases go up pretty steeply.
America's top doctors sounded the alarm Sunday, pushing Americans to get vaccinated and boosted.
Be prudent in everything else you do. When you travel in your indoor settings that are congregate, wear a mask.
Average daily cases have almost doubled since the beginning of November, and breakthrough cases for those vaccinated are on the rise. Senators Elizabeth Warren and Cory Booker revealed Sunday they both have mild cases of COVID. That's despite being boosted.
If you've had vaccines and a booster, you're very well protected against Omicron causing you severe disease.
But the disruptions caused by COVID outbreaks are growing. 3 NFL games and 5 NBA games have been postponed, and 6 NHL teams won't play for at least a week.
A growing number of universities are now delaying the return to in-person classes after winter break. Among them, Harvard, Middlebury, and DePaul in Chicago. And cruise ships are seeing COVID cases again. Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas docked in Miami Saturday after almost 50 people tested positive for the virus. In New York City, which saw over 12,000 new cases in one day, the mayor said he'll decide this week if the Times Square New Year's Eve celebration can go on, as Broadway shows like Hamilton shuttered over the weekend, and the producers of the Christmas Spectacular starring the Rockettes canceled the remainder of their shows.
But COVID came early this year.
And once again, Saturday Night Live had no live audience, no musical performance, and few live sketches after last-minute changes for COVID safety.
Well, this is the beginning of a testing line that stretches half a city block. With long lines like this across New York City, Mayor Bill de Blasio announced that more testing sites would open. That's a similar site across the country as health officials urge regular testing ahead of holiday gatherings. Mo Lenghi, CBS News, Manhattan.
President Biden will address the nation tomorrow about COVID, and it is expected he'll have a stark message for the unvaccinated. Meanwhile, Moderna has released new data that shows a third shot increases antibody levels 37-fold. The Biden administration is tightening fuel emission standards. The Environmental Protection Agency is implementing new mileage requirements Monday for cars and light trucks. The new standards are expected to save people money on fuel and prevent planet-warming greenhouse gases from being released in the atmosphere. The new standard will start with 2023 models and increase between 5 to 10% each year, resulting in a 40 miles per gallon standard by 2026. Former President Donald Trump is suing New York State Attorney General Letitia James, accusing her of harassment. Trump and the Trump Organization filed a lawsuit asking a federal court to stop or limit her office's ongoing civil investigation into his businesses. Trump accuses James of violating his constitutional rights, claiming that her investigation, which has lasted more than 2 years, is politically motivated. The lawsuit also asks the court to stop James's involvement in any civil or criminal actions against Trump. Former Vice President Mike Pence spent time in Mayfield, Kentucky Saturday, meeting with tornado victims and helping the community clean up. It was 1 week after the people of Mayfield caught the first glimpse of the devastation. The former vice president and his wife Karen came to survey the damage and take in the memorial wall honoring the victims lost in the deadly tornado.
We've seen our share of tornadoes, but I've never seen anything like this. And the devastation here in Mayfield across this region is heartbreaking.
The couple stopped by the memorial wall to pay their respects to the victims. They were in town working alongside the humanitarian organization Samaritan's Purse. The former vice president said he was inspired by the amount of support that is poured into Mayfield from around the country. Coming up on First at 4, if you spill the beans, big bucks are in store for your favorite family recipes.
And tranquil weather continues for much of the week, but I'll have the full breakdown as we approach big holiday